You say hi's? Hi. All right. Well, this is sort of an update for all those that have been following along and friends and family or whatnot. We have the lettering on. We still like the silver. It turns black in some lights and silver in others. But DOT's probably not going to like it, but whatever. If that's all they complain about, it's least my problems. Hey, buddy. So, things still yet to do. I still have a spare tire held in with a ratchet strap. You can't have that. That's on my list. Inside, we got all the power ports and the CB wired up. I need to hide the wires, but so far that's fine. And that is the PA controller. Fortunately, it's bad. So this is coming out. We had a complete rethink. I mean, I love this. It's an old solid state 1970s. It would have been a beast if it worked, but it didn't work. It's coming out. It's getting replaced with a modern 2-channel stereo one. This was only a mono. And we're putting a car amplifier in there. And instead of running a PA loudspeaker, which after saving it for 5 years is also bad, we're going with some stage speakers, but I'll show that later. So yeah, the CB's there, and my bootleg relays, they've latched, they won't release, so I'll have to come up with some better relays.
Hi!
Yeah, hi buddy. But other than that, the interior's basically ready. Hung a big galvanized logging chain on the front because number one, it looks cool, number two, it's a nice step, and number three, it's too big to use with a pickup, so why not?
Hi!
Yeah, that's still you again. That window on the far side only rolls up halfway, and then you have to grab it and shake it in its frame, and it'll come up the rest of the way. I'll probably get to that. So here is the wiring. I still run just the 2 batteries. Fires up like a dream. If you have 4, that's wonderful. I don't know why anybody would. Unless they're going for authenticity, you certainly don't need 4. These are the big switching relays that have fused or latched, or they're just not cooperating right. And then that's a fused box pulled out of a car, and that's just a generic one. And then we got a set of power ports, and these up here are 12. Those down there are 24. These are my inverters. Well, I guess they're not inverters, they're converters. So this is the, this is the top relay is feeding the inverters, and the bottom relay is just 24 volts for whatever that needs to be switched to. So one of these was going to run a trailer brake controller, and if that's all it's going to do, it's all on its own. And the other one runs all the accessories, the CB, the sound system, or whatnot. What we'll have to find out is if the sound system draws too much for the one converter, I will fudge that load onto the trailer brake controller, because the sound system will never ever be run when the trailer is attached. Because all we're going to do, you can see that 5th wheel out there, all we're going to do is pull that down to where we live in the summer, and then we live out of our trailer and run our tours. So there would be no big thumpy sound system while that's happening. Anyways, that's the wiring. Coming up with tools. I don't know if I still regret buying the big anvil gun. The truck will run it, but I mean, it really needs a 1/2-inch hose, and I've got a 3/8.
It's you again.
3/8 and a monkey. So it's ka-chink, 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 ka-chink. It's just slow, but it gets them off. It's good enough. I'd swap with somebody or sell it someday maybe. And I bought a brand new set of drives with it too. So there's the lettering there, and then across the tailgate, which is folded down. Now the steps we're using are an accordion step, and they're still coming. They're in the mail, but I'm getting prepared for it. So here's the handrail, and it matches the slope of the accordion steps, not the ladder. So this will make much more sense when the ladder is on. I've put studs, just engine studs, and then these two things unscrew, and I'm well aware that it's a little awkward, but you know, it's the solution I have with me right now. Those are the stainless steel railings out of 2 different school buses welded together there, and I can hang from this, so I know it's strong enough. And then when it's in its up position, it bolts onto those 2 studs, and so it forms a gate across the rear of the truck. Not that it's needed because the tailgate's up. Can you back up for me?
Okay.
Thank you. Reupholstered this today, so I can add upholstery work to the things that I'm mediocrely good at. First time ever given a shot.
Don't die. You
It's
won't step on my
an emergency folding seat, and it was blue. There it is down there, out of a big old Bluebird. And so it was a pusher, which means the motor is in the rear, so there is no rear exit door. So the exit doors are in the side, and that folds up. We put a wheelchair in there, provided we find a loading ramp, and yeah, that's good. So that's all in and painted. All the seats are in, right? First aid kit. I thought this was pretty tricky. It's a hard drive magnet. One hard drive magnet is enough to hang it up in the air, and you'd be surprised how long it takes to rattle to the bottom. This is, well, it's a top kit, right? And it's been cut in half, so it's the top kit for a semi. So it has fitted corners. Problem with fitted corners is it's designed to be 8'2" or 3", and I'm 8'6". So my corners are too far. It's, you know, a little starlighty, but it makes a world of difference back here. This is just a freebie from a good friend of mine. It's one of his old spare tarps, and she's really not holding together very well, but it's holding together well enough for us to do our test this summer, and it lets us know all the things we want to know when we go to order one. We're going to order out of a much heavier material, and it'll be a tan color. We're going to have them do the bed sheet corners. I don't know what else to call them. The fitted corners a little extra wide, so it'll fit in the pockets over there. I have ordered some 1/4" D-rings that'll go on the outside of these bars, and then I will have them put the nylon webbing all the way across so I can really cinch down on all of these bars here. So that ought to work. In order to get it down the 300 miles, we'll have to take the top off, fold it up and stow it, then we'll put it back on. But yeah, you get a kind of an idea. It's pulled itself forward, and then the back is ripped loose, and you know, you kind of get an idea what it's going to look like, and it served a purpose for this experiment. So I'm really appreciative of Scott for letting me have half of one of his big old tarps, but he'll get it back, I suppose. And there's a stockpile of extra seats, 5 cushions and a back, and then, hey buddy, and then in the back of the pickup I have got the covers from 5 more. I just pulled them off the backs, and these are the elbow rails. You probably don't remember it. Most of your seat buses have these cushions elbow high, but one person said they'd bonk their elbow on the metal bars, so I pulled all those off, whether I get them on there or not. Certainly won't get them on for this trip, but whether I get them on this winter, you know, I don't know.
Bonk the head.
Yeah, bonk the head, buddy. He said bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, camera.
Good job, bud.